Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're getting into something really fascinating, the power of the mind.
Yeah, it's a phrase you hear a lot.
Exactly. But often it sounds a bit abstract, maybe? Like just motivation?
Right, but the research we looked at, it paints a very different picture. It shows this power is, well, measurable, actionable even.
So when we talk about the power of the mind today, what are we really defining it as?
We're talking about the immense ability of your thoughts, your beliefs, your whole mindset to actively influence your physical health,
Okay.
your emotional state, and, ultimately your life outcomes. It's not just passive hope.
It's about conscious direction.
Precisely.
So our goal today, for you listening, is to break down how this works, the biology, the psychology, and then give you the actual steps.
Okay.
The things you can do daily to, well, harness it. We want to get past the generic advice.
Yeah, more like an operating manual.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah.
So where do we start? The absolute foundation must be the mind-body connection, right? That circuit.
Absolutely. That's ground zero. They aren't separate systems. They're totally integrated
Integrated how?
through direct chemical and neurological pathways. What you think, what you feel, it immediately translates into physical signals in your body. It's a constant conversation.
And the most obvious example of this, I guess, is stress. We all know it's bad. But how does a worried thought actually say, raise my blood pressure? What's the mechanism?
Okay, so when your mind perceives a threat, and this could be a real physical danger or something psychological like a looming deadline,
Right.
it flips a switch. It activates the HPA axis.
HPA, hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis.
That's the one, your central stress response system.
the body's panic button.
Exactly. And once that's pressed, boom, your body floods with stress hormones. Cortisol is the main one.
And too much cortisol over time.
It disrupts nearly everything. That muscle tension, the higher blood pressure, those are immediate fight or flight responses. But when they're triggered constantly by mental stress, they become harmful.
Okay, so if the body listens so clearly to the negative stuff, how does the positive work? How does thinking calming thoughts actually change anything physically?
Well, it acts like an off switch, or
Right.
maybe more like a rebalancing switch.
Okay.
When you consciously engage in positive thinking or specific practices like, say, deep breathing, you activate the other side of the nervous system, the parasympathetic nervous system.
The rest and digest system.
Exactly. This signals the brain, okay, threat's over, reduce the cortisol, and that, in turn, helps lower blood pressure, allows digestion to work properly again. Your conscious thought directly changes your body's chemistry.
That leads us to the placebo effect, doesn't it? I mean, that feels like the ultimate proof. Believing something works makes it work, even if it's just a sugar pill.
The placebo effect is, it's huge evidence. It's the power of expectation made physical.
How so?
When you genuinely believe a treatment will help, that belief itself can trigger real, measurable physical changes. Actual improvement.
But, hang on. Is the research saying we can just think ourselves well? Like, throw away medicine if we just believe hard enough? That seems dangerous.
That's a really important point. No, the sources are very clear on this. The power of the mind is not a replacement for necessary medical treatment. Absolutely not.
Okay, good.
What it does show is the potential of our internal resources. See, the placebo effect often works because the belief triggers your body's own natural painkillers, endorphins, or mood regulators like dopamine.
Ah, so it's activating the body's pharmacy.
Kind of, yeah. It might not cure the underlying disease, but it can fundamentally change how you experience symptoms like pain or anxiety. It shows belief is a genuine therapeutic tool alongside medicine.
Right, leveraging internal systems, not ignoring external reality.
Got it.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting. Moving beyond the immediate physical effects to how beliefs shape our whole reality. The self-fulfilling prophecy idea.
Yeah, this shifts us a bit from pure physiology to psychology. Expectancy theory, or sometimes called cognitive framing, is key here.
Cognitive frame.
Basically, your mind isn't just passively receiving information. It's actively interpreting it, framing reality based on your core beliefs.
Okay, walk me through the negative side. Let's say I believe I'm awful at public speaking. I have a presentation coming up. What does that belief actually do?
Well, if your internal frame is, I'm going to bomb this, your mind starts acting accordingly. It subtly sabotages you. You might put off preparing what's the point. Or when you do prepare, you focus only on what could go wrong, not on your strengths or message. Your brain is basically guiding your behavior towards the expected failure.
So it's not magic. It's that my belief influenced my actions, which then made the failure more likely.
Exactly. Your expectation created the roadmap to failure, but crucially, right. If you believe you can master that presentation or learn that new skill or overcome a challenge, your mind removes those subconscious roadblocks.
And does that create a positive loop?
It does. A positive internal narrative makes your mind allocate resources differently. Focus, motivation, resilience. They all get directed towards finding solutions, towards practicing effectively. It sets the stage for success, making you more likely to persist through difficulties.
So the mind is actively creating the conditions for success or failure.
Based on the story it's telling itself, yes.
Okay, we've got the why, the mechanism, physiological, psychological. Let's get practical now. So what?
Yeah.
How does using this power actually show up in daily life? What are the real benefits?
Well, the first big one, building on our stress talk, is improve health and well-being. Things like mindfulness, meditation, they directly target the nervous system.
How specifically? Is it just about relaxing?
It's deeper than just relaxation. Research shows these focus techniques actually stimulate something called the vagus nerve.
The vagus nerve, I've heard of that.
It's basically the superhighway connecting your brain to your major organs. Stimulating it increases vagal tone. High vagal tone means you recover from stress faster. It helps regulate heart rate, improves emotional stability. It's like tuning up your nervous system.
Biological optimization.
You could say that, yeah.
And that optimization seems like it would directly lead to the second benefit. Better performance, especially under pressure.
Absolutely. Look at elite athletes, performers. Their physical skill is huge, obviously, but mental control is often the decider.
How do they use it?
Visualization is a big one mentioned in the sources. But it's not just vague daydreaming. An Olympic archer, for instance, isn't just hoping the arrow hits the target.
Right.
They mentally rehearse the entire process, the feel of the bow, the perfect release, the breathing, the calm focus. They are literally building and strengthening the neural pathways for that perfect shot in their mind.
It's like practice, but mental practice.
Exactly. And that translates directly to achieving goals in general, not just sports. Well, if you want to achieve something significant, you need a clear, positive mental picture of that future. Consistent visualization keeps that goal front and center. It acts like a compass for your daily actions and decisions. Without that clear vision, your efforts can get scattered.
Makes sense. And the last benefit, this feels huge for, well, everyone today is getting more control over emotions, especially those moments of sudden anxiety or stress.
Yeah, this comes back to reframing again. But there's a specific technique here called temporal reframing.
Temporal, like time.
Exactly. When anxiety hits hard, the feeling can be overwhelming, catastrophic even. The technique is to mentally step out of the immediate moment.
Now,
Ask yourself, how will I likely see this specific problem in 6 months? Or maybe 6 years?
and the answer is probably,
Yeah.
I won't even remember it, or it won't seem like a big deal at all.
9 times out of 10, yes. That simple mental shift engages the rational part of your brain, the prefrontal cortex, and helps calm down the emotional center, the amygdala. It creates distance.
Takes the immediate heat out of it.
Right. It makes the stressor feel less like an emergency and more like just information to deal with. That gives you back control.
That alone is incredibly practical.
It really is. So we know the benefits are better health, peak performance, achieving goals, emotional control. Now, how do you actually do it? What's the toolkit?
Right, the actionable steps.
There are basically 4 key things needed to actively direct this power, moving beyond just understanding it.
Okay, step 1.
Cultivating your mindset. This has to be a conscious daily choice, meaning you actively choose to focus on positive, empowering thoughts and beliefs. And more importantly, you actively filter out those self-defeating narratives. You have to understand that your internal dialogue is constantly shaping your reality. It's like mental hygiene.
And a key tool for that hygiene is step 2, mindfulness and meditation.
Definitely. Because their main job is building awareness. You can't manage thoughts or emotions you aren't even aware you're having. These practices train you to notice those subtle shifts, to catch negative thought patterns before they spiral and trigger that stress response. It gives you a crucial pause, a moment of choice in how you react.
Okay, so mindset, awareness. Step 3 takes us back to the blueprint idea. Building self-belief, but deliberately.
Yes. Unwavering self-belief. This is about intentionally overcoming those limiting beliefs, often left over from past failures or negative feedback. You need to install the strongest possible cognitive frame about your potential.
Why is that so critical?
Because your mind simply won't commit the necessary energy and persistence to a goal if it fundamentally doesn't believe success is possible. That belief has to come first.
But here's the catch, isn't it? All this mindset stuff, visualization, positive thinking, can just become wishful thinking, daydreaming. What makes it effective power, not just hoping?
That's probably the most critical distinction we need to make. And it brings us to the fourth essential step: action. The effort part. The effort part. Mental power is the catalyst. It's the direction finder. It fuels persistence. But it is never a substitute for actually doing the work. Your positive thoughts, your clear vision, they must be paired with consistent, deliberate action to create any real-world results.
So the belief gets you started and keeps you going, but the action is what builds the bridge to the outcome.
Perfectly put. The belief creates the conditions and the motivation. The action makes it real.
Okay, so wrapping this up, what does this all mean? We've gone from this kind of vague idea of mind power to actual science.
Yeah, we've seen the direct physiological link, how thoughts trigger hormones, how mindfulness can regulate the nervous system via the vagus nerve.
And we saw how belief, through things like cognitive framing or expectancy theory, literally acts as a blueprint for our actions, like with athletes visualizing success. And then the toolkit. Consciously cultivate that positive mindset. Use mindfulness to build awareness and control, build that solid self-belief.
And crucially, the fourth piece.
Pair it all with action. Consistent effort. Without that, it stays internal.
Exactly. And thinking about that final step, the action part, it highlights something really challenging, doesn't it?
What's that?
Well, there's often a significant gap, a tough period between when you start taking action based on that positive vision and when you actually start seeing tangible results. It can be a grind, lots of setbacks.
Yeah, that's the hard part, keeping the faith when nothing seems to be happening yet.
Precisely. So the question for you, listening, becomes, how do you maintain that clear, positive mental vision, that initial belief that got you started during that difficult phase? When the action feels hardest and the proof of success is still nowhere in sight?
That gap, that's where the real power of the mind, the endurance of it, is truly tested, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bridging belief and outcome with sustained effort.
It really is something to think about.
Definitely something to mull over. Keep exploring your sources. Keep asking these kinds of questions. Thanks for diving deep with us today.